Availability bias, stemming from the availability of information, is our tendency to judge the frequency or the importance of an event by how easily examples of it come to mind. In general, recent, vivid, or emotionally charged events are more easily recalled, so we give them greater weight in decision making, often incorrectly. This means that we might overestimate the likelihood of dramatic events because they loom large in memory, while underestimating more common but less memorable occurrences. The availability bias is a mental shortcut that says, if I can think of it easy, it must be important or likely. While this can be useful in quick thinking, it often leads to skewed risk assessments and perceptions. A classic example of availability bias is the fear of flying versus driving. Many people are more afraid of dying in a plane crash than in a car accident, because plane crashes, though extremely rare, are highly publicized and memorable when they do occur. Car accidents, on the other hand, happen far more frequently, but usually don't make national news. Therefore, the vivid images of airplane disasters stick in our minds and skew our perception of risk. In reality, traveling by air is much safer than driving on a per mile or per journey basis, but the memorable nature of plane crashes causes people to overestimate the risks of air travel due to the availability bias. An airplane flight, highly publicized but rare events like plane crashes tend to stick in memory, leading people to overestimate their likelihood. In social media analysis, availability bias can lead to misjudgments about trends and threats. Social media feeds are often dominated by sensational stories or striking events that generate engagement, and analysts might see a flurry of posts about a dramatic incident, for example, a viral video of a violent protest or a sensational rumor, and conclude that such incidents are widespread and increasing. If a few particularly vivid cases of misinformation gain traction online, an analyst might assume that misinformation is rampant on that topic, even if data shows those cases are outliers. Likewise, in corporate security or risk analysis, analysts might overestimate exotic threats like terrorist attacks or high-profile cyber attacks, while underestimating more common risks like employee negligence or minor fraud. This bias arises because the dramatic cases are easier to recall and imagine. Thus, they seem more probable than they truly are. To counter availability bias, analysts should seek out base rate or baseline statistics and broader data, not just rely on what events are most salient in memory. It's important to ask, am I focusing on this information because it's truly significant, or just because it was the most visible or recent? By grounding analysis in data rather than anecdotal impressions, we can reduce the distortions created by availability bias.